Check it out, man. So if you want to make sushi rice just like this, stick around. Thanks, Emerald. Konnichiwa and stuff. So we're gonna make sushi rice. I'm going to hurry up and get the rice rolling so I have time to talk. So we are heating up the pot and I have my sushi net. You want to have it damp. Try not to take a shower right now. So net goes in, water goes in, net goes down to the sides. The rice has been pre-rinsed and then hung to dry just for 7 or 8 minutes. So I'll turn the heat up. I will not put the lid on until I see some boiling movement. Lids are very important. If you don't have a lid, get some nice tight fitting aluminum foil. We want to keep the steam on the inside. I'm so excited. Sushi rice it's just 2 ingredients. With 2 ingredients, it's all about measuring and proper cooking. That's it. Technique. The boiling is just now starting. So I'll put the net on the inside. I will put the lid on. This is a pressure cooker. I'm not engaging the retention of the pressure, so it's just like any other lid. This is the tightest fitting lid that I own, so I'm using that. Got to get my time measuring device out. We're going to boil / simmer for 5 minutes. Lids are getting hot. I can feel that movement really start to take off, so I will turn it down to like a medium. The rice is dancing. All right, so we're hot around and I feel some good boiling movement. I'm turning it down to what's called 200 here. 200 is like a medium low. When the lid is on and the contents, what's on the inside, is already hot, it's not going to take much heat to allow that to simmer. We don't want a raging boil. All right, now we can talk rice. So we want a short or medium grain rice. I use the short grain. I think that kind of gives the best texture in my mouth. We want to rinse the rice, and I just put the rice in here. I fill it up with water, rinse, dump, about 3 or 4 times. Now comes the measuring on the liquid. So this is the one I used, and it says for every 1 cup of rice, use 1 1/4 cup of water. Traditionally speaking, sushi rice is 1-to-1. We have to measure things out properly because, as I said before, we have 2 ingredients so far, water and rice. So if they're not measured properly, we don't give ourselves a very good chance to make excellence happen. So I had 2 cups of rice and 2 1/2 cups of water. Sometimes you'll see recipes say to soak the rice for anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes to 30 minutes to 45 to an hour. I chose not to soak my rice. I typically do, but I want to see if there's a huge difference or any difference at all. Once we have everything measured, rice rinsed, drained, in the pot, net or no net, doesn't matter. Start seeing the bubbling action, put the lid on, reduce it down to a simmer, 5 minutes on the cook, and then we're going to kill the heat. If you have the electric burner, we're going to move off of that electric burner because that'll stay hot for a while. Then, without peeking, we have to suck it up. We can't check to see how good it's doing in there. You guys all right? 20 minutes after that 5 minutes of cook of letting it steam, because of 5 minutes, it's still going to have a lot of water in there, but it's going to be hot water. The pan is going to be hot. That's one of the reasons why we want, and here is rule number 32, we want a nice thick bottom pot so it can retain that heat. Extremely important. Oh, there we go. That was our timer. Shutting off the heat, and I'm going to put another timer on for 20 minutes. Start that. And now, a moment from our sponsor. This is my book, A Fork in the Road. It's, if you're going to culinary school, it says everything you're supposed to do and some things you're definitely not supposed to do, or how to bypass culinary school because it is quite expensive. I was a teacher for nearly 12 years, 10 years super full-time. But yeah, this one has just got all of the things that I learned along the way and how I kind of rose up the ladder, and then a lot of my great buddies, I listened to them and kind of wrote it all down. So check this out. I'll put a link in the subscription down below. See ya. Now we want to make our sushi rice seasoning. This one is super easy. Make sure we have no raw rice in this fella. Turn it on. Looks like our handle's taking over. Gangsta lean. In making the sushi seasoning, this will help it out a little bit. Get a little weight in there. I'm going in with about around a cup of the vinegar, the rice wine vinegar. And we're looking at 5 ounces of the sugar. We want the balance, right? That vinegar, it's lower on the acidic side than most vinegars. However, we need some balance. And then the salt, a couple little pinches of salt in one of those things. And then I was taught by Wesley how to do sushi, and he always does the sesame oil in there, so I do it too. I do it every single time. I like it. We're going to heat this up just until those grains dissolve. It will become clear. Can you see it's clear? Ooh, look how clear that is. Splishy splashy. Got the OK bowl here. We want a wooden bowl. If you don't have a wooden bowl, that's fine too. When the rice comes out, it'll still be hot. It'll still be steaming. So the bowl allows some of that kind of steam / water to adhere to it where it's no longer in the rice. That will help out with the stickiness. If you don't have a wooden bowl, you can use a wooden cutting board if you have that. Or you can just use whatever you have. This part is minuscule on importance. All right, time's up. Are you as pumped as I am? Lid comes off. See the steam? Still hot. I will say, I think we're watching the neighbor's dogs. Well, not neighbors, but our buddy's dogs. First, we've got to get rid of the water. Then we'll give this a light drying. Then the rice goes in. See how easy that was? The seasoning, sometimes probably every video you'll see the people with the rice turner saying to splash this down. It's okay. You can just dump this on. I would say, you want to spread the love around, but you don't have to, it's romantic if you want to feel like you're doing something, but yeah, I don't think you are so much. We do want to add the seasoning while the rice is hot because we can see the steam escaping. We want that steam to go bye-bye. That's going to allow us to have a little bit more sticky rice. When you first put the seasoning in, it's liquid, so it's going to feel like it's not allowing the rice to set or be sticky anymore. But once that evaporation occurs, it'll take maybe a minute or two, then the rice will start clumping again. So I'm using a cutting motion and I'm moving the bowl. Instead of like folding hot rice, let me finish my thought. Instead of folding the rice with a spatula or a big spoon, I'm cutting with something kind of thin and allowing that to cool down because hot rice is very fragile. We don't want to mash it. So this I got out to fan it. Sometimes you can, if the kids want to help you make the sushi rice, you can have them fan it and feed you grapes at the same time. This is looking good. How do I know, you're asking? The rice is intact. It's a full grain of rice. When you see the rice splitting or becoming a little bit kind of on the mushy side, that says maybe we overcooked it, maybe we added too much water, maybe we cooked it for too long, let that boil for too long. You never see a sushi rice recipe calling to boil it or simmer it for 15 minutes. It's just too long. We're looking pretty close to done. And again, you may, how do you know that? How do you know it's looking close to done? Well, it's like it's all moving in a clump, like it's sticking together. No mashing the rice. It's all in stash. It's good. I'll give this another little mix, and then we'll let it hang out uncovered, because it's still a little bit warm. And then after about 7 or 8 minutes, I'll flip the rice over. All right, I'll get in here and I'll flip it over to allow that bottom to become the top and allow that to cool down. Then we'll be able to make the sushi. All right, sushi rice is done. You can see the rice grains are all clinging together. Nobody's overcooked. This is the way to go.